Everyone, welcome to it. Another night of Wednesday night OWCP chats
with Sick and Sick.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Nobody's on, so we'll redo that again.
Well, probably not. We'll probably just go ahead and keep it. Well, hello. Two people are on. So she just said hello and welcome to Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini. Except she didn't sound like that because we've both been sick for a few days now. It started with me. It actually started with somebody else before me. But hey, what are you going to do? I am the ground zero of our house being sick, and we're all sick. But here we are tonight. Everyone, thanks for coming on tonight. We've got a special edition of Woodshed Night. As you can see, we are in the woodshed tonight. The supervisors will be taken around back. They're not obviously allowed inside the woodshed. That's not how things go. When you're taken out behind the woodshed, you're just taken out behind the woodshed. So tonight we're going to be talking about supervisors, the things that they do that cause you trouble and that make it nearly impossible for you to navigate the OWCP system. So we're really excited. It's been a long time since we've done Woodshed Night. Typically, she will read off the questions. Tonight we're going to do that, but she may need a different microphone to like amplify because what's happened to her is taking her voice away, which is fun. So tonight, feel free to make fun of her and don't blame me. In fact, don't tell her I said that.
Because I didn't hear him.
I don't think she can hear me out of this ear.
Yes, I sound like a man tonight.
Yeah, there's two men. I always sound like a man. So, yeah, hey, look, we've been all over the place. We just got back from New Jersey. We're at a wedding. And while there, I got sick. And while I got sick, I got everybody sick. And to my knowledge, only the people in my house, but some other people in our family got sick too. I guess I was the super spreader. My bad. But you all know from experience, because you've been through it, you're essential workers. When the rest of us were home, you were out catching this crap. So we did too. Anyways, we're back home. We're happy to be home. She's got the best smile on her face, and I'm over the worst of it. So let's get it done. Woodshed Night. Supervisors should. I doubt any of them will show up tonight. Most of the time, people don't like to show up to get the 2x4 in the backside, but maybe some of them are going to show up. So if you're a supervisor tonight, I'd really appreciate it for you to announce yourself and say, hey, I'm a supervisor. I'll take it easy on you if you're honest about it. But everybody else is going to get, 2x4 treatment tonight. Where we've been before, we went to New Jersey, but right before that, we were someplace.
I don't even know anymore, seriously.
Well, that wasn't the answer I was hoping for. Anyways, we've been all over. Let's try this. Where are we going next?
We are going to Gilbert, Arizona.
That's right outside of Phoenix.
For a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And a mini OWCP training.
Oh, when is that?
It is next Thursday.
So a week from tomorrow, we're going to be in Gilbert, Arizona, at Dr. Rue's office. I hope is not a strategy. If you know me, you know I hate that word, actually. So forget I said it. I expect to see you all there. If you're from the Phoenix, Gilbert area in Arizona, I expect to see you. We're looking forward to meeting the people that are out there. If you've got friends in Border Patrol, they're in desperate need of our help. Tell them to come show up. We'd like to help them out there as well. And then from Gilbert, we're going to be flying to Birmingham. We're going to be hanging out with Dr. Harper in Bessemer, Alabama. And we are going to the APWU of Birmingham monthly meeting. So they're having their meeting there in downtown Birmingham. We're going to be there. So if you are with APW in Birmingham in that area, we hope to see you. That's a fun group. We love going to talk. They're so friendly. Camise is the president out there. He's always really generous and allows us to come and talk and teach. And so we really appreciate that. So from there, hopefully we'll come back. But I think instead we're going to go to Miami. And from Miami,
hopefully we'll come back.
We might come home eventually. Well, who knows? I don't know. We have so much traveling to do. But I'm only just like trying to fill time because she's doing something she should have done an hour ago. And let's talk about books. How about these books? So I've got Breaking OWCP. The first book is not in print anymore, but more and more of you have wanted it, and I'm thinking about printing some more, although my goal is to get my books in your pocket, meaning download it to your phone so they can be in your pocket. So go to breakingowcp.com. And if you haven't done this already, go to TikTok. Now, look, I used to say in like these big meetings, who has Twitter? And nobody would raise their hand. I'd say, okay, who has a cell phone? And they'd all say, oh, here's my cell phone. So great, you qualify for Twitter because it's on cell phones. Well, same for TikTok. I used to be totally against it, but it's fun. Oh my gosh, I get stuck with like 8 hours of TikTok time, just in my opinion, market research, just trying to learn some TikTok moves. Anyways, so I've been doing that. I'm starting to post some stuff on there that I think is valuable. So take a look at that. I'm reposting it onto Wednesday Night Chat so you can see it. But what we're trying to do is just be kind of everywhere so that somebody will see and learn. So tell your friends. But if you haven't been to TikTok yet, follow me at Breaking OWCP on TikTok. And man, I'm quickly running out of stuff. So we got to start. Tonight, I'm expecting your questions to be about what your supervisors are doing to you. I think your supervisors are all hosing you. I'd like to hear your stories. What's management telling you that's clearly wrong? What kinds of serious problems are you dealing with that are ridiculous? I'd like to hear them, and let's deal with them. And I'll talk to you about the laws, rules, and regulations that they're violating. So tonight, you're in the woodshed because all of us are welcome inside, but your managers are out back. And we're all going to take turns, okay, with the 2x4, because until you get in line with what we're supposed to do here and how OWCP works, we're going to keep doing woodshed night. That we've got to shed light on the fact that your supervisors are hosing you, that they are distorting the rules or ignoring the rules. And that has to stop, okay? And you can do what it takes to stop it. You're all part of unions. We love the unions. We think that your unions are powerful. If they want to be, they will be. And so you should be able to put stops to this stuff, calling OSHA, filing grievances, EEO complaints, labor board charges. All these things can put a stop to management. It's funny when we start a new office, we have federal injury centers, which is a franchise, and it's a franchise of doctors, and the doctors are trained to help you in a way that no other doctor is willing to help. And I always say, we were just in Utah. Oh, that's another place in Utah, in Salt Lake City, that, anytime we have a new office that comes to town, management goes into like management convulsions. They can't believe that finally someone's getting over on them. They're so used to just ruining your lives that, they're just getting away with murder. Not obviously exactly murder, of course, but, they're getting away with bad things. And that's happening because you're letting it happen.
Yeah.
And so tonight we're going to be talking about the things they're doing to you and what you should be doing about it, and how they're violating the rules and which laws they're violating. This is really important. You should be sharing with all your friends. There is nothing like this in the world, on social media, on the internet, anywhere. None of your unions are teaching this the way I teach it. It's not that they're not teaching it. They teach stuff too, and that's great, and I appreciate it. But they're not teaching this. What we ought to do is get together and say, hey, we're an army of people too. It's not management all together, and then there's just little old me. There's all of us together. You're not alone. You're not an island all by yourself, and we are all in this together. So, again, back to the books, just so you know, that's what I call them. Look at this. You're not alone, and we're all in this together. So the reason for that is because nobody knows more about what you're dealing with than I do. I hear all of your stories, okay? All of them. The 10-minute story to the 2-hour story. The story about, what do I do next, to I am evicted and I don't know where to go. I've heard them all, okay? And I've written in these books about how to prevent those things. They shouldn't happen, okay? You shouldn't go homeless because you got hurt at work. You shouldn't be threatened with your job because you got hurt at work. You shouldn't be ridiculed on the work floor because you got hurt at work. A supervisor should not write on a form that you were allegedly hurt without somebody doing something about it. And that's what we're doing here. So tonight's Woodshed Night. We're going to talk about all these things. Gini, if you're new here, she's going to ask all your questions, and I'm going to answer them. We're going to have some of our doctors come on and say hi. That's always nice. I mean, we never know who's going to come on, but some of them do.
Yeah. So
and now she's ready to talk. Let's go.
There's some doctors that are on. Just don't say hello. If you're with Federal Injury Centers, just don't say hello. Please
tell them who you are and where you are.
Put your location, your full address, and a phone number, and who they can contact. I see some of you on her saying, hi, I'm from San Antonio.
Great. Let them know how to contact you.
Yeah. Okay. Also, we need to, we don't forget, as of next month, we're going to start doing the share giveaway. So start sharing, because I'm going to be checking up on your shares, and you have to set your privacy settings to public. That way I can see it. If you share it and I don't see it, you lose a chance to get a $100 gift card. So we're going to give away 2 gift cards each month, October, November, December, just as a little thank you and some help for the holidays that are coming up.
And that's for sharing this page with other people so that we grow the number of people that are learning the content. Nobody has to go to a Federal Injury Center's office. Nobody's got to buy a Breaking OWCP book. But what we're looking for is more people to get this information so that they don't need it when they, so they don't need it when they don't have it. Yeah, because if you wait till you need it, it's too late, right? So we're trying to encourage you by saying, hey, here's some gift cards to tell someone else. Now, truthfully, we should not have to do that. Nobody should have to tell you to tell someone else. I mean, look, imagine it was you, and some of you, it was you, right? And you were in this trouble, and you said to me, I wish I would have known you 2 years ago. Why are you going to let someone else wait till 2 years from now and say, I wish I would have known them then? Tell them now. Somebody's dealing with something you don't even know about.
Yep.
But you're finding people that can't raise their arm over their head. They can't, they're limping. They can't lift packages. They're working limited duty. They're doing the best they can. They're frustrated, stressed out. They're mad at their managers because managers are mad at them. These are people we can help. All right. So you can tell people that we're here to help, and we're here every week. That's your job. My job is to teach you some stuff. So let's get that going.
Dr. Hawkins is on. Dr. Snowden.
Dr. Hawkins, what's up? And Snowden, what's up?
We have the Mills. Dr. Mills' office is on.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah. So you're going to be seeing a few of our doctors.
So we've got doctors right now from Oklahoma City, South Carolina, and from Redondo Beach, California. There will be others on. But what's happening is our doctors get on and they want to listen to you. They're listening to you. They want to hear what's going on and what you're thinking, what you're saying, because they're learning from you as well. They've learned from me. They know how to get your claims approved and, navigate your payment and, your CA-17s to get you treated back to work. But they want to know what you think, and so this is where they come for that. So they're here for that. Don't hold back. Let everyone know what's going on. Tonight, I want to hear what your supervisors are doing that they shouldn't be doing. And we're going to take them out behind the woodshed, and we're going to straighten them out.
Yeah.
Tonight's the what for night for these supervisors.
So I know we had tons and tons of shares on my post that we were doing this. I was promoting it since last week or two. So don't forget to click the share button. Tag your friends. Don't forget, we're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and a ton of Facebook pages. Hello, everybody. Wayne, hello from LinkedIn. And we have a few people. So you're going to see me look over on this side because I'm trying to see. We have 3 people on watching from YouTube. We have a few on Instagram. All right, so let's get started. Don't forget, share. Start sharing. I should see we should be getting 1,000 views on this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we're not getting more. Look, if you want your supervisors to screw you over, go ahead and check out now. Everyone else, bring your questions. Let's go. But I got some stuff, and I'm gonna start with my topics.
So let's go. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see our little campfire.
Forget that it's a candle. Look, you can see the fire reflecting
glowing.
up.
Yeah.
We got campfires and we got woodsheds.
We're hidden in the woodshed because you see this window behind Chris. They're back there. We got them back there.
Yeah, we got them back there. Right now, they're reading the what for that I gave them.
All right. While Chris goes over some stuff, I'm going to continue sharing. Hold your questions, please, until he's done.
So here's some things that we've heard recently and other things that I hear all the time because some of you are new. So I'm going to go ahead and hit you up with everything that I've got. But here's the first one. A supervisor says that if your claim is closed, you're done with OWCP. If your claim is closed, let me tell you one reason a claim gets closed. Because the medical bills don't hit $1,500. Now, that doesn't mean the medical doctor didn't do $1,500 worth of bills. It means they held their bills. So your claim is closed because they held their bills. Now, as soon as they send their bills in, and as soon as your claim hits $1,500, the claim opens, right? So that's the number one reason a claim closes. But the supervisor says that if your claim is closed, you're done. Okay, so
Oh, wait, I just realized now that we're streaming, I have the right stream. I can see everybody that's messaging on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Took you this long to
Awesome.
see that?
Yeah.
Because I was right in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah.
So whatever I was saying, if your supervisor said it was closed, they're wrong. Okay. They don't know anything. They're not experts in OWCP. Believe me, your supervisors are less trained than you. You're definitely, after the 16 minutes you've been here, you're more trained already than they are. So your claim is not over because it's closed. It's just like closed, whatever. Doctors can get it reopened. So don't listen. Go back to your doctor and say, hey, what's up? Sometimes they haven't sent their bills in. Sometimes they need a letter of medical necessity. There's a lot of things that can happen, but a closed claim is not a dead claim. So what your supervisors don't know is what I'm going to teach you right now. Once your claim is ever approved, you have lifetime medical benefits. Lifetime. So for the rest of your life, you can get help. That means if your claim is ever closed, it can be reopened because you need help. So when a supervisor says your claim is closed, you're done. You're not done, okay? It's an administrative thing. It can be reopened, no problem. So here's another thing. Somebody said this week that, and I spoke to him on the phone, and I'm going to leave it at that, but that a supervisor wrote allegedly on the CA1 or 2, allegedly on the CA17, like allegedly you're hurt, allegedly you have an issue, allegedly you have a work condition. I mean, what the heck is? I'm trying to not use my behind the woodshed words because I'm inside tonight, but
They're out there though.
But allegedly, so here's what I said on TikTok. By the way, go to TikTok and you can see my video on this. That hey, supervisors, your opinion's worthless. Doesn't matter. We should all right now stop thinking about you. Nobody should care what their supervisor thinks. And I said this, and I've said this in a lot of groups, and I'm saying it to you tonight. And everybody should repeat after me. And if you can't repeat, just hit the heart button because it's fun. Hit a lot of them. This is what I want you to repeat. I don't care what my supervisor thinks.
I would use more different words than that.
I don't care what my supervisor thinks.
I don't give a
I don't give a peanut about what my supervisor thinks.
A peanut?
But seriously, we have to start worrying more about ourselves and less about our supervisors. At night, they're sleeping good and we're not.
I keep telling you guys that.
When you're hurt and the back hurts, the knee hurts, the shoulder hurts, whatever, and you can't sleep, they're sleeping fine, whatever. Maybe they had like some whiskey and they went to sleep, but they went to sleep and you didn't. So who cares what they think? I don't care what my supervisor thinks. That's really important because when they say allegedly, who cares? Because here's what I told them on TikTok at Breaking OWCP. I said, the doctor's opinion far outweighs yours. What you have to say is irrelevant. The doctor is going to bury you. Whatever you think is irrelevant. You don't have a medical license. You don't have a medical opinion, and your opinions don't matter. Doctors' opinions matter. So our doctors bury supervisors. And I'm going to talk some more about that in a second, about how they bury them, because the supervisors say all kinds of crap on the back of the CA1. But if your supervisor says something like that, just laugh it off. Go to your own doctor. Do what you want to do. Okay? Like that. So here's the next thing your supervisor
what
says.
What did you just pause for?
The next thing they say is, you must go where I tell you to go. Like, you have to go to my doctor. Your supervisor says, hey, we got this urgent care, Concentra or whatever. No offense, Concentra. I go there when I'm sick, okay? But you're not sick, okay? You got a work injury that's on OWCP. And these urgent cares are not experts in that. The urgent cares that we visit are like grateful that we visited. It's like, oh, please take the cases from me, because we don't know how to work them and we're not getting paid. Well, they don't get paid because they don't do a good job. And when they don't do a good job, you also lose money and time. So it's a big problem. You don't want to go to these urgent cares, but your supervisors are saying you got to go where we tell you to go. But the law is different. The law says you can go anywhere you want to go. The CA10 says you have the right to initial selection of physician. The CA810 says you can choose your own doctor and nobody can get in the way of that choice. It also says that nobody can force you to go to a doctor employed by or contracted by your agency. And the law says that your supervisor is required to tell you that you have the right to choose. That never happens. Your supervisor doesn't say you can go wherever you want. They say, don't go there. You have to go here. That's against the law. So if they tell you that and it's an emergency, go to the urgent care, go to the ER. It's an emergency. But you know what? Choose your own doctor. It's your choice because the choice matters. If you go to the wrong doctor, your claim will get denied. How do I know? Because statistically, 1 out of 7 federal employees has denied claims. Statistically, over 9 out of 10 federal employees at federal injury centers have approved claims. You want to be 1 or 9? Who do you want to be?
1.
Obviously. So choose your own doctor. Choose carefully. Now, here's my side note.
You have a side note?
Yeah, some of the people that are charged with giving you good information that you count on, that you rely on, that are, their responsibility is taking care of you. We'll tell you also don't go to federal injury centers. I'll tell you what, that's fine. You can go get your denial. And once it's denied, come back. We'll still help you. We will never give up on you, no matter what. Even if everyone else does. If you get bad advice from everybody, we will not give up. So once you show up, we'll fix it. But it's better if you don't have to fix it, because how many weeks of pay do you want to lose? That's pretty simple. How much money do you want to lose? Or the way I like to ask it is, how much of your own money do you want to keep in your own pocket? All of it, obviously. So do we have questions yet, or are you still sharing?
I'm still
Is
sharing.
everyone else sharing?
You could read here.
I have stuff. Okay. But no, I'm going to let you wait.
Okay.
All right. So here's the next thing. Supervisors, prove that you're hurt. What? Okay. So management. I'm talking to managers now. Show me your medical license. Right now, I'm switching back to you. That's what you tell them. Show me your medical license. How do you know I'm not hurt? What is your background? How do you know that when I lifted this box and felt a pop that I didn't actually hurt my back? How do you know I'm faking it, like they like to say, right? You're not hurt. Prove it. You don't have to prove it, okay? Fill out your CA1 or 2 on eComp. Your supervisor has to do the same thing, and go to the doctor. You don't have to prove that you're hurt to a supervisor who doesn't have the expertise to understand it.
Yep.
All right, so just like that's not part of the thing. All right, I'm going to read one more, then I'm going to let her ask some questions, and I'll go from the next ones. All right, so the last one is the CA16, and this one is my biggest pet peeve, and let me tell you why. The CA16 pays your medical bills for 60 days after you have a CA1 claim. So what happens is, let's say you're injured in a single shift. That's a CA1. You stepped out of your vehicle and twisted your knee, or you got a dog bite, or you picked up a box and felt that pop in your back, or or you were in a car wreck. In your LOB. All these are CA1 claims. They happen in a single instance, in a single shift. And your supervisor says, I don't have to give you a CA16, or I don't know what that is, or I don't know how to find one, or you're not hurt bad enough to need one. Well, none of those are part of the rule. The rule states that if you report your CA1 within 30 days, then they have 4 hours to give it to you, the CA16. Not 4 hours if you're hurt, not 4 hours if they think you're hurt, not 4 hours if they believe that it's bad enough that you need it. It says 4 hours, period. And you're not getting your CA16s. And what I'm finding out is people that don't have them end up spiraling out of control financially in their lives. And they go back to work too early. And we want everyone to go back ASAP. But they go back to work too early and they get re-injured or injured worse. And then they end up on disability. Why? Because they couldn't afford to be out of work. They couldn't afford to have medical bills paid. Not fair. Okay, that's not fair. So we got to get that done. Don't let them not give you a CA16. The rule is clear. They have 4 hours to give it to you when you report within 7 days. Within 7 days, they have to give it to you. So don't take no for an answer. And unions, now I'm talking to you. This is your job, okay? Your members pay dues, among other things, to get a CA16. So help them, all right? Go there, file grievances, talk to the supervisors. Stewards are at the same level as management when it comes to disputes. So go and dispute it. Okay, your folks need a CA16. Make it happen. These pay their medical bills and make it possible to get back to work faster. The CA16 gets people back to work faster. Okay, so don't let people screw around with your folks. If you're a union steward, fight back. I'm going to keep telling people to go to the union, file a grievance. Go to the union, file an EEO. Go to the union, file a labor board charge. But I always say, go to the union, call OSHA, but go to the union, Okay, I believe in you, and I'm telling your people to believe in you. You've got to be worth being believed in. So fight back. Okay, this is necessary. If you get on board and do this, believe me when I tell you, it's going to make a huge impact in the people's lives that you're representing. Huge impact. You're going to save lives, and I'm going to be grateful for that, and so will they. So let's ask some questions now.
Okay.
Enough sharing. They can share.
All right, guys, you're in trouble. You got to share. Okay. So I'm going to go where I could last go to. Oh, shoot. This time it lets me go all the way back.
How about that?
Hello from Vermont. 2 of us here. Melissa, Kimberly.
Vermont, what's up?
Aisha Robinson from Chicago.
Hey, Johnny Utah, I just saw your text or your message. It's so long. It's fine, but I'm probably going to have to read it offline and respond to you offline because it's going to take me a minute to wrap my head around that message. But it's fine. I'm really glad you sent it. If we can get to it, we will here. But otherwise, I'll definitely get to it privately.
All right. Tammy Wilk said, one thing mine did was said, I get paid what would make now and not a time of injury.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
You'll have to ask that question a little differently. I didn't understand it.
Okay, Melissa said, my paperwork was never done correctly as my postmaster was all away when rollover accident happened. Now they've closed the case administratively. I just want to get some PT and go to the doctors.
Yeah, so closing the case is no big deal. Go back to the doctor, have the doctor write a letter explaining why your case needs to be open, and then they'll open it if the doctor does a good job, and then you'll be able to get treatment. So a closed case is not the end of the world. Tell everybody, okay, pass it around. A closed case is not the end of the world. You can always get them reopened.
Yeah, for some reason, a lot of you have been asking me that like this week. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, you can get it open. And
someone said, how do you hold supervisors accountable if they don't follow the law? I think it's a great question. You know, every agency has its own OIG. I'd go there. The post office has a postal inspector. I'd go there. The DOJ enforces law. So we're talking about laws being broken. So I'd go there. I would do whatever it takes to not get screwed over anymore. That's my bottom line. Whoever enforces law, I'd go tell them, hey, there's a law that was broken. What will you do about it? Because a law was broken. At least it was violated. At least a rule wasn't followed. Okay? So that's important.
I'm sorry. I need a new phone. My phone is frozen.
Try your best.
I know. I'm trying.
You want mine?
No. Dr. Harper is on.
Dr. Harper from Bessemer, Alabama, but he's also Montgomery and Huntsville, Alabama. If you need a work comp doctor as a federal employee in Alabama and you don't go to Dr. Harper, I mean, outside of Phoenix City, which is Dr. Cooper, obviously, which is at Columbus, Georgia. If you don't go to these guys, you're probably losing. And that sucks. I don't want you to. So you can all go to federalinjurycenters.com, check the locations tab, and alphabetically by state, and you'll find the offices. You can call them directly.
Dr. Harper says, let them know how much time you have in order to use a CA-16 before it expires.
Yeah, so the CA-16 expires in 60 days. So you got to get started right away.
Okay.
Once your supervisor gives it to you, they have 4 hours to give it to you. You need to get to a doctor and get help because this thing runs out in 60 days. Now, if we do a great job, which we do, we can get your claim accepted by then. Maybe a little bit over. Look, honestly, we don't control claims examiners, and sometimes they're asleep at the wheel. So we do the best we can with reconsiderations. But the best way to get the best help is to get this done right away.
All right. Samira Marie said, I understand you're saying that the laws are different than what supervisors do most of the time.
That's the
example, giving a CA-16 within 4 hours. But what if they don't?
How do we hold them accountable? Yeah, that's where you contact DOJ, OIG, Postal Inspector. You contact somebody that enforces the laws that are being broken and let them know what's happening and ask them, what do you want to do about it? Because why do you have these laws if we're not going to enforce them?
Dawn said, I was injured at work in 2018. I had a meniscus tear and my claim was accepted. It is now closed and I have every tear in the same injury, same knee. Do I have to fill a new claim?
Not necessarily. You need to go back to the doctor and find out, is this, part of the same injury or is this something new? If it's the same one, then you treat it under the same injury. If it's new, you file a new injury. But this is a doctor decision.
Debbie said, can your case be reopened even if you get a schedule award?
Absolutely. You have lifetime medical benefits. So even after a schedule award, if you have a flare-up, you can still get help.
Tammy said, supervisor argued with me that I would get paid my current wage instead of what my wage was at the time I got injured.
All right. So the way this works is you're going to get paid based on the wage or your pay rate pre-injury. But what I'm hearing is if you go back to work for 60 days full duty, then you get paid at the new pay rate. So it's based on, the last time you're at full duty.
Emma said, Thousand Oaks has been a blessing. That's good to know.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. Dr. Alvarez and his team are doing a really great job out there, and we're really grateful they're there.
Sandy said Dr. Harper is the best.
Yeah, we know. Thanks for saying that.
Brenda Smith said, I asked my DOL caseworker who approves surgeons, and they're saying mine is not approved. She never called me back, but posted on eCom what I said.
So surgeons are approved by Department of Labor through credentialing. Surgery is approved based on your diagnosis. So if you have a diagnosis that's surgical, then they will usually, approve it. If you have a sprain or a strain, that's not surgical, so they won't approve it. You have to get the correct diagnosis approved on your claim through a diagnosis expansion.
Tanya G from YouTube said, let me start at her first one. What happens if you're sick when you're scheduled to return to work?
Well, that's easy. You just need a doctor's note explaining that you're sick. That's fine. Right here. And if you're not comfortable going back, should you get a second opinion? So Tanya, I like that question. I like that you're thinking about taking charge of your own health. Yes, second opinions are great. You want to be sure that you're ready to go back. Like, let's say that you're like me and you just had COVID. Do I want to go and infect everybody? No, not that much. Right. And if they want me to come back, do I want to? Not that much. I don't want to get everybody sick. So a second opinion is a good idea. After returning, can management put you in a different job other than the pre-injury job? They can. They can put you in another job, but it's got to be at the same level or pay rate that you're at pre-injury.
And her last question is, if re-injured, does workers' compensation start back up?
Okay, so if re-injured, does workers' comp start back up immediately? No. Sadly, it does not immediately start back. If you're re-injured and it's like, let's say it's a reoccurrence, right? Then you fill out a CA2A. If it's a new injury, you fill out a new CA1 or new CA2. So it depends on how it happens, but you can always get your federal injuries covered, even if it's a recurrence or a new injury. You just have to know by communicating with your doctor what it is.
Yeah. Johnny Utah said, I've been on OWCP for a year now, and I have dealt with so many games that's affect my family and personal life. Needless to say, I have caught several people giving false statements in my agency, and even with current claims. Chris, I'm all about that life, liberty, and justice, and I've reported these issues and crimes to the appropriate agencies, but no one cares or will do anything. Just saying.
So I hate that. Back in the day, I used to have this union president who was a good advisor to me. We don't really talk anymore. But he used to tell me that that labor board charges are a way to go. And the union typically has to spearhead this. When you file charges with the NLRB, National Labor Relations Board, NLRB, the decisions there set precedent for like future labor board charges. So that may be a way to go. I hope that's helpful.
Johnny Utah, don't ever give up. Get in touch with Ron Speakman. He didn't give up. So.
Oh God, yeah.
And Ron's on here answering some questions. I appreciate it, Ron.
Yeah, don't blow Ron up because he's got a wife and kid and likes to live too. But yeah, Ron's been through it all. And hello, Ron, and thanks for being here.
Dr. Cooper said you guys rock.
Hey, Dr. Cooper is in Forest Park, Georgia, Phoenix City, Alabama, or Columbus, Georgia. And he's a bad man. So he's a scheduled award doctor, among other things. So if you want to schedule a ward, you can fly right into the Atlanta airport and make it happen.
Kim said, my doctor has requested several times for an evaluation by PT, but PT was denied. What do I do?
Well, I mean, if therapy is denied, either your claim is denied, your diagnosis is weak. It's hard to know for sure what's going on with that. I'd have to know more information.
Renee Marie.
Renee, that's a long message. Let me see what I can do here. Hold on. Everyone talk amongst yourselves.
Don't forget, guys, next Thursday, we'll be in Gilbert, Arizona for a meet and greet open house. This office has been going for a while. I don't know why some of you have been so skeptical until we decided to say we're going to be going there for a meet and greet. A meet and greet? God, a meet and greet. So we are coming, and that will be the only time for a while we will be in Gilbert, Arizona. So it'll be next Thursday from 6 to 8:30-ish. Appetizers, drinks. I'm going to stream live, etc., etc.
So let me read this. So Renee Marie, who we really appreciate on here, she's super helpful. So Renee, let me answer this. When I attempted to return to work on restrictions, the supervisor filled out all the paperwork. Yay. After I signed from the CA-17, I was told there's no help. So if I'm given work, I'll complete it even if it goes outside those restrictions from the doctor. Nope. So your claim's accepted, presumably, and they have to follow your doctor's restrictions. Exactly. There's no exception to that. The union said, don't worry about it until management actually makes an attempt. Well, that's not right. The union should immediately fight it because if they don't, then they're saying that they agree. So that's not okay. She said, but I don't want to wait to be in a bad position. Agreed. Don't. You have to fight it right now. How do you recommend handling things like that from management? And my answer is slap them around the way they're trying to slap you around. Your doctor gave you very specific work restrictions, and your supervisors are not doctors. They are not qualified to overrule your doctor. Okay. So you can file a complaint with OSHA because they want you to do something outside of your safety restrictions, right? The S in OSHA is safety, and the CA-17 from the doctor is meant to, keep you safe. So maybe start there.
Jackie, she said, hey, this is Jackie from Austin, Texas.
What's up, Jackie? From Austin, Texas? I'm from Texas. So, but man, you're from Austin. I'm just going to keep it to myself.
He doesn't want to be from Austin. Texas.
No, I'm a proud Texan. I'm a proud Texan.
April, if we have a CA-16 and it covers medical expenses for 60 days, why would one be told they can't have an epidural until DOL approves it? Hubby is using FIC in Tallahassee, so many questions.
Yeah, because certain procedures require pre-authorization, and we just have to tell the claims examiner, hey, this is what we think is needed, and let the claims examiner approve it. That's not a guarantee. But certain procedures we want to do are require the approval of a claims examiner from Department of Labor. That's why.
Miss Martin Ellis said, I printed my CA-16 offline. Is that acceptable? I didn't wait for the supervisor.
So actually, I think that's super smart. Supervisors play dumb, or they all are dumb. Remember, the dumb ones are out behind the woodshed right now, so I don't mind talking about them. They don't understand anyways. But they're going to say you don't have a CA-16, or they don't know what one is. They can't find one. So you found it. Look, many of you can just go to federalinjurycenters.com and print your own damn CA-16 and then take it to management. But until they fill it out and sign it, or somebody in authority signs it, it's worthless to you. People have in the past found out that, oh, there's a thing like a CA-16, I want it. And they bring it into us, but totally blank. It goes in the trash. It's worthless. Your manager or somebody in charge has got to fill it out and sign it. Once that happens, your bills are paid for 60 days. If you have a CA-1 claim, that was reported within 7 days.
Yeah. Those of you that are new on here, meaning just hopping on, don't forget to click the share button. Tell your coworkers, your friends. We're streaming off of YouTube, Facebook, all of our Facebook pages, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Yeah. Sorry. Emma says, I had a case in 2000. I still have problems. May I go to a doctor to see if I'm at MMI?
Absolutely, you can. In fact, that's exactly the way you find out if you're an MMI. You find a doctor who will decide. Once you're an MMI, you can get a 6th edition impairment rating, and that will be attached to your CA7 and sent in, so you can get paid for your schedule award. They're probably going to deny it. They deny a lot of these things, but that's okay. We'll look at the denial letter and figure out what needs to be done to fix it, and then you'll get paid. And then you might need a lawyer, but that's a last resort.
Tammy said, CNSI approves bills and pre-authorizations. I was told by my caseworker. I did a back and forth between them all the time.
Can I just stop you? CNSI is Medicare. I don't believe that is OWCP.
Javon Waltman said, it took over a year and a half. I won my case. Now the paperwork needs to be done to get my money back. Thank goodness I didn't give up from what I have learned from you both.
Now, look, it took a year and a half to win that case.
Oh, so sweet.
So look, this is what we're talking about. The reason we're here is, look, who was that? Melissa? Who took a year and a half? Javon.
And she's
a year and a half to win a case. So we understand this is painful. It's painful. It sucks. But Javon, good job hanging in there. I mean, really good job hanging in there.
Melissa says, so my other half just fell out of the rear of an LLV and actually has a fractured fibula. No paperwork has been done at all again. And he went to the urgent care, got x-rays, and has an ortho referral. I'll be doing a CA1 soon. Is there any other paperwork to get this correct on the track to get it go? First of all, you need to go see a DOL doctor before you can go to the ortho unless he's broken.
Well, that, and you need to go to eComp. It's ecomp.dol.gov.
Yeah.
And that's how you file your CA1 now and CA2. Your supervisor then gets an email, so make sure you got the right supervisor email address. And that prompts them to fill out their portion of the CA1 or CA2. But then you need to download a copy of it from your eComp account so you know what they said, because generally they're going to say bad things to you, which in a minute I am going to talk about. Okay. So make sure that you're getting a copy of everything off eComp and that you report everything on eComp.
Yeah. Tanya said, if payments are late, are penalties automatically applied?
No. I'm sorry. I wish I could answer that better, but no. But they should be, shouldn't they? Right. There should be definitely penalties. And whoever caused the problem should get penalized, but that's not how it works.
Teresa Sanchez. That's the biggest issue is accountability. My son-in-law has contacted everyone. They all say they can't help. It's crazy how these are all the laws, but no way to enforce them. The congressman refuses to intervene. No responses from senators, and it's insane level of corruption in his office. There's investigations and everything is swept under the rug. The unions have become useless. They are uninformed. They do not get involved or help with OWCP. I'm talking about several districts in Florida not being able to help. That's insane.
Who's that?
That's none of those districts that have anyone capable of helping an injured worker because they don't know anything about OWCP. Teresa Sanchez.
Teresa, so I hear you're in Florida. Let's find out where you're at. Let me tell you what happens. So you have the right to choose any doctor you want. I respect that right. I actually love that right. In fact, I had just side note. Somebody called me earlier in the week, actually late last week, and said, I have somebody that needs help in a city where I don't have an office. I don't have a doctor in the city, but I knew somebody. And I said, well, there's somebody here, but they're not part of federal injury centers. That's okay, because they know what they're doing. We're not in it for us. We're in it for you. And you got to be able to find whatever it takes, to get a win in this thing. With that said, you're in Florida. I've got like 15 offices in Florida. How are you struggling at all in the state of Florida? Look, somebody should have told you already to go to federalinjurycenters.com, check locations, and pick a location close to you. Because when you get the right doctor, you don't need lawyers, and your supervisors are, limp. I use that word on purpose. Because the doctor's notes far outweigh whatever the supervisor can say or do. We can beat them. We beat them routinely all the time. Yeah. So if you're in an area where there's a trained OWCP doctor like a federal injury centers doctor, you got to go. Tanya said, why are federal workers' compensation more complicated than others? Because we're talking about federal law, Tanya. I wish I had a good answer, but there's tons of red tape. The problem is, or the thing is, we just learned how to read the red tape and cut through it.
Jackie said, Lord, it's so sad they take so long because I'm fighting and hanging in there with my case. It's been well over a year and 2 weeks and still waiting to get approved.
Yeah, well, if you're at a federal injury center's office, then you're probably in the right place. If you're not, we'd like to help you. And even if you don't, I'd like to help you. I've got a team of people that will help you. Even if you're not near a federal injury center's office, we will help you. All you've got to do is send a message to Messenger on Facebook and at Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Jeannie, and we'll help you.
We have some supervisors peeking in the window.
Well, the only thing they're allowed to do is peek in.
Yeah, they're not allowed to look. They're peeking.
Yeah, but if they even try to input, we go back with a 2x4 and shut them down.
Valerie said, my claim was approved on my knees. Is there a time frame I can have surgery? Can they close my case if I wait too long?
Well, okay, so your claim is approved. Fantastic. But let's say your approved diagnosis is a strain. You're not getting surgery. Okay, it's not a surgical diagnosis. Your diagnosis has got to be surgical. She's not laughing at me.
No, I'm laughing because you guys are laughing at me saying this.
So your diagnosis has to be surgical. It's got to be a tear or something that needs to be fixed surgically. So that's the number one thing. What is your approved condition? Once it's approved, you should get surgery, right away.
Yeah.
It should be nearly automatic.
All right. Karen Shelton said, I definitely could use your help. Can someone please get back to me? Karen, first of all, if
this is to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, what she's about to say, listen to what she's about to say.
If you have any questions, first, before you send us a message or a question, go to federalinjurycenters.com, click the locations tab, and call that office that's closest to you. Every office has a case manager and a staff that knows the answers and can answer these questions too.
Yep. And Tanya G, I see your message, and she said, what's your messenger information? Tanya, I've been seeing you on LinkedIn for 5 years. So I know who you are. Go to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Jeannie on Facebook. Now, listen, it's Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Jeannie, because there's this another joker that does OWCP Wednesday night chats with Derek.
Oh, Derek.
Now, okay, so I'm not talking about Derek anymore, but it does make me think about that movie with, what was that movie where they, Magic Mike is what it makes me think of. So I don't know that Derek does.
Magic Mike.
Derek probably doesn't dance on stage. I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying I don't know that he's the OWCP expert like I am. Maybe he is. I doubt it. But so it's Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Jeannie, not with Derek, and not with Magic Mike. So just come to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Jeannie on Facebook and send us a message. And Tanya G, we're all over it. We're happy to help.
Jackie, when did you call the San Antonio office? Because I know Dr. Woywood is on. So Dr. Woywood, if you're still watching,
talk to Jackie.
Please call this patient tomorrow.
And tell your front desk staff to start returning phone calls.
No, there isn't anything in Michigan as yet. We are working on it. Remember, we have some fall doctors coming. At the end of fall, there'll be some more doctors. And I'm sure Joe will have another set to go before the end of the year.
But so we do have one at South Bend, Indiana, which, as you all know, in Michigan, borders you. So it's as close as we can get for now. We're doing our best.
Jeff Sexton said, can DOL force you to go back to work against your doctor's orders? What? Okay,
so they can't force you to go against doctor's orders, but they can reassign you. They can send you to a retraining. They can keep you out of work. They can keep you on permanent roles. There's a lot they can do, but they can't make you work against your safety protocols. They just can't do that. Or safety restrictions. Excuse me.
Karen Shelton said, can they change your work schedule because of your injury?
Yeah, they can change your work schedule. It's not nice of them to do it, but they can. There's nothing in the rules that says they can't turn you from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's nothing in the rules for that. What there is in the rules is they can't send you more than 50 miles for a limited duty assignment. So there is that, but they can change your work shift. I hate it, but I've never found anything in the rules different. With that said, we have a lot of union leaders on here, and if I'm wrong, somebody step in and just say, hey, Chris is wrong. He's not a union guy, and I'm cool with that.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure I'm right.
So I'm going to say this because a lot of people are saying it's the same thing. And we hear it too. You have to remember there's, 2.8 million of you. And
nearly 3 million.
50 states times how many union people. So listen up. I was told that the union doesn't handle workers' compensation and they cannot help me with what I have questions or need help.
Okay, so look, I'm going to dance around this, and I don't want to. Those of you that know me know that I just kind of want to hit this one right between the eyes. So I'm going to be gentle and say that, yes, I am familiar with all the unions. I know people in all the unions at the highest levels. I know the work comp people, or at least know of the work comp people in every union. Most of them are fantastic. I love them very much. I appreciate them. I think they're doing a great job. They're doing the best job they can, being overwhelmed by being so many of you and so few of them. But there are some unions that don't really get involved. I am not going to call that union out now. Did I say that union or low? That union. I'm not going to call that union out right now. But that union president knows who I'm talking to. The rest of you have got to find help. So here we are. We're here all the time. We're happy to help you. We'll take your messages. I got employees that will help you for free. Nobody's going to charge you. You have a right to get help. The government has put you in a government position and given you federal benefits that you have a right to. And some of your unions are not helpful. That's okay. Most unions are extremely helpful. Most union reps that we know are powerful.
Yeah.
So you're cutting me off?
Yeah.
She's cutting me off, so I don't get myself in trouble. My point is, if you know who you are, I'm talking to you, and we're happy to help you. And your union leadership should be.
You done?
Maybe for now.
Thomas said, I have an on-the-job medical bill that was never documented as an OWCP claim for over a year. It's been. I've asked my supervisor to take care of, and he sent it
Not going to.
in. I assumed to his boss, but it never got paid.
No.
The bill is going to collections. What do I need to do? Don't ever give your bills to the
No.
post
So
office.
let me tell you what happens. I was actually in Chicago once, and I heard people talking about this, and it was actually my first time, like maybe 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time hearing this. In this particular instance, this this particular station was sending people to a company doctor who was contracted with the agency. Remember, I told you don't have to go to doctors contracted with the agency. That's the law. But they were going, and then the hospital, because it was a hospital, was sending, or urgent care, whatever, was sending the person bills. And so this lady stood up in the middle of their monthly meeting and said, I'm getting these bills. What the heck? Something like that. Probably more colorful than heck, Chicago. So she was pretty pissed off. And they said, give us the bills and we'll see what we can do. The answer is this. Get your claim accepted. Give the claim number to the hospital or wherever and say, bill OWCP. Now, if your medical provider, whoever's billing you, doesn't know how, direct them to me. I'll help them. That goes for everybody here. If anybody has a doctor, a surgeon, a hospital, an urgent care, somebody that's billing them for OWCP, send them to me. I will try to fix it. I can't guarantee it because sometimes you can't get through a brick wall. But if the brick wall's got a little bit of a personality, I'll help them out.
Okay. Karen said, what if they put on there, they don't believe you were injured on the job on a CA-16?
Oh, that's fantastic.
What's that on the CA-16?
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Nothing. That's what you do. Nothing. Give it to your doctor. Let the doctor write a paragraph in their narrative report like we would do. This says, supervisor doesn't have a medical license. And then we would just write the answer to supervisor doesn't think you're actually hurt. That we would write a paragraph just like that. They don't have a medical license. Their opinion's irrelevant.
Yeah, when I'm
because
laughing,
their opinion is irrelevant.
Yeah, when I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at like, oh my gosh, some of these supervisors that are peeking through the window there are such agents. Okay, Misty Brown said, my doctor and workers' comp have requested a permanent job offer for me. Are they required to do this, or can they keep me on modified job assignment until I retire?
They can keep you there.
Oh, sorry.
It's not fair, but they can do it. Your union is the only place that can fix this.
Tanya G said, can you request for more physical therapy?
No, your doctor does that. But so I know some people. Remember, I've been doing this like 30 years. I have known people that have had more than 100 physical therapy visits. Now imagine you have a surgery, you're doing post-op care, maybe it's a failed surgery, you got to get more surgery. Who knows? There's a lot of different things that can happen. But I have seen lots of people actually have a lot of physical therapy because that's what's required to get you back to that heavy job. Your jobs, especially at the post office, and I think Tanya's for the post office, it's one of the hardest jobs ever. I know professional football players that will not do your job. They say, I would never be a postal employee. It's too hard. And so it takes a lot more therapy to get you back to that job. That's what I've been told. I'm not a doctor, but the doctors I know say you need someone that will treat you like a personal trainer to get you back to a job so you can make it to retirement.
Belinda said, why can they take your rural route away from you if you're out on a work injury after 2 years, and then what happens?
So hold on. I'm sorry. Belinda, why can they take your rural route away when you're out of work for 2 years? Okay, so I know the answer. Answer number one is if you were any other craft in the post office, the answer would be 1 year and not 2. Rural carriers get 2 years. Everyone else gets 1. The answer to why is because your contract. Your union and your agency have negotiated this. I'm not judging it. I'm just answering the question. Your contract between the union and the agency allows for this. But in this instance, you're given 2 years where the other crafts are given 1 year.
The end. Judy said, I've been off for 18 months waiting on a third surgery. So miserable.
Judy, I know, and I've been following you. I know you're going through it. So, man, I don't know what it'd be like, but keep your head up.
Johnny Utah said, is there a number to call with OWCP to help someone with medical and travel reimbursement if you cannot deal with your OWCP claims examiner?
So there's not, Johnny. You have to fill out an OWCP 957 for travel reimbursement and an OWCP 915 for medical reimbursement.
Don't we have videos on that? Or?
Well, not for those, but you got to fill those out. They're simple forms, okay? You got to attach the receipts and turn that in. That's how you get reimbursed. You e-comp that stuff to your claims examiner.
Tammy goes, why do I have to call CNSI all the time then? DOL gave me their number and said they're the ones who do the pre-authorizations. Now I'm really confused.
Okay, so Tammy actually, all right, so CNSI reminds me of the Medicare. So they both have very similar things. I'm probably mistaken. But let me tell you what happened. OWCP uses a third-party administrator to pay their bills and do pre-authorizations and all that stuff. And the new one that they just have only been there for like 2 years maybe might be called CNSI. So when I said Medicare, I'm probably wrong. That's like CMS. CMS. Medicare CMS. CNSI is OWCP. My bad. Okay. My apologies. You're calling the right place. But calling is probably not that useful.
Tammy said, I've been trying to get these ablations done on my back again for over a year. I'm in so much pain and struggling to make it to work every day.
So to get procedures like that approved, you've got to have a diagnosis that will allow for it. So I would need to know what your approved condition is. So what does your claim examiner say your approved diagnosis is? And that would help me understand whether or not approving this procedure.
So I'm reading your questions, and I see either Ron Speakman, which is fine. He's always helping us out. Or Dr. Cooper is answer. And any of the doctors, you're welcome to answer the questions. Like Dr. Cooper is telling patients stuff. So,
but if you're going to answer, docs, answer good like Dr. Cooper does.
Yeah. Melissa said, oh, yeah, the first PA at Concentra had listed my injury only as a cervical sprain. There's impingement, but he never listed that to my knowledge.
Yeah, it's nonsense. You know what'll happen? And I've seen, like, the worst case scenario. This is what I've seen. Someone was in an LLB. For those of you that are not postal employees, that is the mail vehicle that you see your letter carrier driving around in. And they got hit from the side, right? And it rolled the LLB. And it rolled several times. And, thank God for the seatbelt. I guess they were wearing a seatbelt, but they didn't die, so I'm thinking seatbelt. But, like, messed up neck, shoulder, back, knee, because it was a terrible accident. And they went to the urgent care the supervisor sent them to, and the diagnosis was cervical strain. It's like, look.
What was that?
It was herniated disc. It was torn rotator cuff. It was blown ACL. It was a herniated in the lumbar, but they got cervical strain because the urgent care was lazy. And that's where you're going when you go where the supervisor tells you to go, where you don't have to go, but they're going to screw you over. And then nothing's going to go right next because your diagnosis is bad. Your diagnosis has got to be spot on. If you went to Dr. Cooper in Forest Park, you'd get 8 diagnoses if there's 8. But if you went to an urgent care, you'd get 1. It'd be the worst one possible. And then they'd say, you're ready to go back to work in 2 days, full duty. Then your COP will be cut off.
Yep.
So if you don't want to get paid, that's what you do.
Kim said, how do I get in touch with you if I don't have Messenger? Do you have LinkedIn? YouTube. Oh, you know what you can do? Call call the 877 number, and if I'm on the phone, you'll get an automatic text message, and then you can message me from there. Okay? So, yeah, you can call 877-787-OWCP.
6927.
Here's a good, what Dr. Cooper had to say. I see many people waiting for surgery. That's what he's saying. If you have access to a quality office, stay in therapy. Keep your condition under care to reduce some of the pain. There are tons of things you can do in therapy to reduce pain and help you get by. Consult with your OWCP FIC provider or whatever provider you're seeing.
But he's right. And, what he said in the beginning is if you have a doctor that knows what they're doing, stick and stay. Don't leave, because trust me, you're just going to go someplace worse. If you're wherever you are and you want to go to federal injury centers, we're here, we're ready, we want to help. But I tell everyone, and people are shocked by it, like, you mean you're telling to go somebody else? Yes. If that's a good doctor, stay. There's not. What was it?
I'm telling them they're trying to break through the window.
I will kick their. All right, what's next?
Margaret, I'm laughing because I keep seeing this name Derek pop up. Okay, she said, speaking of Derek, I sent all my medical records to Massachusetts office and Derek left, and a woman had my file. She left on maternity, and I have never heard back from them. Do me a favor, Margaret. Just if you can contact the Norwood office, just go on our
or just contact us directly,
and I'll put you in touch. Marissa is over there, and she can get you in contact.
Yeah, sorry about that. There has been a little turbulence there, but we're still helping a lot of people, like lots and lots and lots of people. We have a new orthopedic surgeon there that's helping out, PT assistants, and it's a nice office. But yeah, I guess we probably fell down on that one.
Harleen said, I have an on-job injury from 2016, had 2 surgeries. Doctor said over a year ago I needed a total knee replacement. Doctor took me off 8 hours a day to 4 hours a day because of the swelling and pain. New doctor OWCP picked up after 4 hours a day, but it's only paying me what wages were in 2016. Are they telling me I need to fill out a reoccurrence form and they will make the decision? I have been back to work since 2 years ago full, and it's not a recurrence if the same is giving me a problem.
All right, so that's a lot of stuff, but I mean, the bottom line is, and I'm going to make this a teaching point for everybody. Your supervisors are going to tell you you have a recurrence. And my answer is going to be your supervisor doesn't have a medical license, so they don't know if it's a recurrence. I always say with my knees, there's four ligaments in the knee. There's bones, there's cartilage, there's tendons, there's muscles. And, I've got screws in both knees from an ACL blowout. But now, if my knee hurt again, how would I know if it was another ligament or the same ligament? So don't assume it's a recurrence because your supervisor, with all their medical knowledge, say it is.
Here's what we tell supervisors, what you should say to them. Let me see your medical license.
Yeah.
We've had a handful of
people,
stewards
that have
and employees that have asked them, and they backed off, and all of a sudden things changed.
That's right, because they don't have a medical license. They don't have opinions that matter. So when someone tries to, when they try to school you medically, ask for their license, like, you don't have a license. And then go to your own doctor and figure it out.
Yep. Samara Marie said, I'm a mail handler, union steward. Technically, we don't have to help with OWCP unless it's a contract
But you
violation.
do all the time, and I know you do. Mail handlers are notorious for helping even when they don't have to.
We don't have any training in OWCP, which we can do.
Yeah, we're happy to.
However, anyone that comes to me, I just explained we don't have training. I will do my best to help you. I've learned a lot through my own experiences, but if I don't know this and the place for then get answers, I also refer them to FIC. Well,
yeah.
Thank you.
So with that said, Samara, I do what I think is probably the best steward training that's ever been done. And I'd be more than happy to do it. We would fly out to your office. We can do it by Zoom. What I believe, and I've always said, is that when the stewards know what I know, you are more powerful. You have more protection. I think the stewards, and I say this every time I go to any group, I say, show of hands, who's a steward? They'll raise their hands, and I'll say, okay, you're the power in the room. You are the thing that makes this happen. So I've got a steward training that is second to none. If you want your stewards trained, and this goes for everybody, if you want your stewards trained, invite us officially. Your president's going to invite us, and I'll show up. She'll show up. We'll do the training, and I promise you, it will increase your OWCP abilities exponentially. Your supervisors will go into convulsions. They won't know what to do next because you will own them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll own them, or they'll own you. But if you don't want to be owned, give me a call.
Tanya says, my employer asked me if I'm being released. Why does he want to see me again? I don't know why they asked me that.
So the employer said, are you being released from your doctor? In other words, can you come back full duty? It's a medical decision. It is what it is. So just, the CA-17 will answer that question, Tanya.
Ron said,
You know what? I'm so excited to have Tanya G on here because I've seen her on LinkedIn for so many years, and now we do this.
Yeah.
And now we're actually hearing from her. Tanya, you should have been here all along. I'm happy you're here. You should have been here on Facebook and YouTube, but welcome to the party tonight, Tanya G, asking all the good questions. What's wrong, guy?
Ron said, Chris and Jeannie did our steward training. It was great, and it was free.
It is free. Listen, here's what we do. For union reps that are watching, we pay for our plane ticket. We pay for our hotel. We pay for our car. We pay for our food. You pay for nothing. All you've got to do is ask. It's crazy. Like people say, oh, why would you do that? Well, because that's our business model. We have this franchise federal injury centers. We help you with doctors. Try to hold that in. We help you with doctors when you need it. But we understand that the best way to have maximum success is to have you, the members of your unions, be maximally educated on OWCP. So we do it. And we do it at our expense, at our cost, as a public service to you. And so some people will say, well, what's in it for you? Why does that matter? Nothing. Like, what? And then I get there and I'm like, yeah, we got doctors. You can go or don't. What do you mean or don't? I mean, or don't. Do what you want to do. Follow the law. You have the right to choose. I'm here to teach. There's nobody ever, that's ever been like me before that will do this. If it wasn't for her to get me set up with you, you wouldn't even know me. But I will do this until I can't do it anymore. And when I retire, you will find me in my favorite subway station where I own, and you'll eat best sandwiches ever.
I'll be doing makeup.
But for right now, you're going to have the best OWCP care ever.
I'll be doing makeup videos in my closet.
She'll be doing makeup. I'll be making sandwiches, maybe a pizza. I don't know, a bourbon bar. But right now, we do this. So take advantage because here we are. We're willing to come, so make it happen.
I'm laughing because Ron goes, I don't give a shit what any supervisor thinks 9 out of 10 times. They're wrong.
Okay, so I'm bringing Ron on very soon. We do an interview series. Ron, if you're not next, I probably messed up. So you're probably coming next.
Oh, we have Jordan Tulsi, my new cousin-in-law.
What's up, Jordan?
So hi.
Cousin-in-law is only a thing if you have a big family. In my family, a cousin-in-law is like cousin.
It's my cousin's wife's brother. Really sweet people. We just came from their wedding, and it was a beautiful ceremony, and everybody was just super sweet.
I hope I didn't get you sick.
We have the famous David Dorfman.
Hold on, wait.
He has to stand. They can't see him. Get back. They're trying to look.
He's back here. Dave, come back around. Come inside. Come inside. You don't belong up back.
All right, we had Dr. Hawkins.
You know what? Dr. Dorfman is in Tallahassee, Melbourne. Let me just stop you for a second. We're going to talk about Hawkins, so don't pass this. But Dr. Dorfman is a good friend of ours, and he's got multiple offices around the Panhandle and the East Coast of Florida, and he's dealt with some stuff. But this guy is a trooper. He's a guy that's like a warrior. Every problem he has, he handles it himself, like head on. So we love him. We love Dr. Dorfman. So thanks for being on here, Dave.
So,
and Dr. Hawkins, what's she saying?
Dr. Hawkins said, we are here to help everyone in California. So many patients need our help. Call us today. We're here to help. So let me tell you, I know what he's going to go say. So let me tell you this first.
What am I going to say?
I know you guys see me because I posted on my page and then I share it on Wednesday night chats. It's her case manager that handles her marketing and stuff like that. Anyways, they post all of their live testimonials, and she's
take a look at those.
office, only franchise
Of
that
50
does
offices.
this.
It
Yeah.
does it.
And the reason we pushed it, and I thought it was a great idea when it came to me and asked me to share the videos, is because we want you to hear not only what we're saying, but what other people are saying and telling you how they're getting the help. And I know it's only coming out of one office, but they all share the same things that you guys. They're all federal employees. They all get injured. So their stories are real. If you see any of them reading, it's because they're just camera shy.
Well, some people are nervous. They're not like us. Like, she can be on the camera like,
No,
until the camera turns on.
No, live in person, you will not catch me on a stage like what he does.
So I show up and I'm like, hey,
Oh,
come up here. Everyone turn around and look at her. Genie, stand up and say hi.
And I feel I'm just getting red. So don't ever call me.
But look at his face. Now, as soon as I tell everybody to look back at her, they won't look at me. So I'm like, okay, that's it. Come back here now.
And we got Dan, shout out from Federal Injury Centers of Limerick, Pennsylvania. We are here for you, which their open house is at the end of the month. Like, all of you people that are here from Phoenix, I hope to see you in Gilbert next week. Please make sure you're there.
Yeah.
All right.
Tanya needs a shirt. What's she saying there? I can't see it on that.
She says, I need that shirt.
You need this shirt right here? Tanya, it's been here all along. Go to breakingowcp.com. And I've got a gear thing. You can just go and I have shirts there.
Yeah, we have Jackie from AFGE in Tuscaloosa. No, how do you say it?
Well, you say it, so we both know.
Tuscaloosa,
Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama, yeah. She's one of the AFGE union members.
Wait, that Jackie?
Yeah,
that Jackie.
Yeah.
Wait, that Jackie?
10 years out. Yeah.
That Jackie?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Hey.
So,
what's up?
A shout out to all of you.
Say hi to Danielle.
Let me go back into my Wednesday night chat. You guys have to understand, I'm going from page
we normally
page.
end in like an hour. We're 13 minutes over, but we're having a good time. So just keep
And I know
coming.
a lot of you still have some questions.
And we got Tanya G here. How could I ever quit this early?
Okay,
I haven't had her in like 2 years.
Belinda says, I really and truly don't have a clue. Oh, for surgery. But I would love to find she wants a clinic in Asheville, North Carolina.
Well, we're in Charlotte. I know that's not close, but it's closer than, I don't know, Alaska. So check it out, Charlotte.
I'm looking.
I think he's actually going to open up in Asheville too, but for now, he's in Charlotte.
Well, I'm going back up. So
Excuse my coughing. I'm,
Okay, here we go.
It's my third time recovering from COVID.
Oh, Miss Howell is back on. She said, my shoulder surgery was approved. Can I choose one of your doctors to get it done? I desperately need a new doctor.
Okay, so our doctors don't do surgery, but you can choose one of our doctors to get everything approved, so your doctor will do surgery.
Or unless you come to one of our doctors, they can refer you out to whatever ortho that they use. Yeah.
They'll get it approved, and then your doctor will do the surgery.
Samara said, I'm out for COVID, long haul right now. My doctor called because the post office sent a fax to get saying that they have a program to get COVID looking haulers back to work. They wanted me to come in for 2 hours a day. My doctor says she'd never seen anything like this and asked my opinion. I said I didn't feel comfortable because I was to go get back my COP would stop if I needed to be taken care of.
Take it off again.
I'd have to fight for pay. Just wanted everyone aware of this, something they're trying to do now.
Oh. So the COVID thing,
Yikes.
Just because the lockdowns are over, don't think that COVID is over. OWCP or FICA has put out at least 3 bulletins, maybe 4, describing how COVID claims are to be handled in OWCP. And what they've said is you're essential. You were in, around the public and customers and coworkers. And so your claim is covered. And we've had so many people, because I still teach, like, thank God she's been getting me lined up to teach at union conventions, state conventions around the country lately. And I've been saying, look, your COVID claims are approved. And how easy is it to get your claim approved? Let me tell you. I wrote the narrative. I'm not a doctor. But our doctors can fill in the blanks and get the claim approved. So once your claim's approved, it's treated like a CA1. A CA1 gets, COP, it gets CA16s, it gets, LWOP, time away from work. All the same benefits of a CA1 claim are given to people with COVID. So if you develop COVID as a result of work, don't give up. Give us a call.
Okay, this one makes me upset. She said, she was replying to Mary or Miss Hell. You and me are in the same boat, but you have to go with the worker comp DOL doctors. Any move they want you to do must be approved by workers comp and DOL. This is messed up, right? No, you could go where you want to go.
Well, you can. Okay, yes, you can go wherever you want to go. You must go to second opinion doctors, but outside of that, you can go anywhere. You can choose your own doctor. You have to go to the second opinion doctor. You have to go to a referee doctor, if they call it. But you can choose your own doctor, and you are required to follow the treatment plan of your doctor.
Teresa said, what if you need back surgery to keep working, but you don't want surgery? Will DOL send you to vocational rehab or given a permanent modified position at your work? Or would you be able to let go for refusing surgery?
So it could be any of those, actually, including federal disability. It could be any of that, truthfully. It could be a permanent restricted duty. There's everything in the range. I've seen like people that have been on OWCP for 20 years, which means they've been on restrictions for that whole time, or they went to the other things. So there's a lot of options that you may have to go through.
Okay. I'm going to read this one and I'm going to elaborate, and then Chris is going to elaborate after me. I just went to Chapel Hill to see a doctor at the tune of $700 to get my narrative written for my third surgery on my knee. First of all, we can't, and I know I said this to somebody today, this could probably be the same thing. None of our doctors will ever ask you for money. And if they do, I need you to contact me immediately, because we let them know, return the money, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's that. So anything you get done in the office, we can't speak for the MRI and the ortho, but we can speak that in the office, they're not supposed to charge you. They should never charge you. And again,
ever. It's against the rules.
We've already got, people have called me and said, oh my gosh, this doctor charged. And because we have so many franchises that I don't know if it's our doctor or not. Well, came to find out that it wasn't one of our doctors. Thank goodness.
Because our doctors are not permitted to charge you cash out of your pocket.
Correct.
Ever, or ask for your insurance card or credit card or anything. They're not allowed to take money from you ever, no matter what. Even if they do a bad job and your claim's not approved, they are not allowed to bill you ever.
Okay. So then this is where I elaborate from this. If you are going to a consultant, is that what they call themselves? Or a company like ours, but they're doing it like they're taking money from you, please try to reach out to us. You shouldn't have to pay any money out of your pocket at all, because DOL is like an insurance company, and the doctors bill DOL. Okay. So if you're going to see one of these consultant groups or somebody outside of an attorney, you need to find a place to go that won't take money out of your pocket. And I know you're going to elaborate on that a little bit more, because you said you were.
So I actually posted something on this on Facebook, like, I don't know, hour and a half,
hours ago,
2 hours before we started. So there are groups. I want to be nice. I'm going to call them case management groups. And their job is to help you get your claim approved and help you get paid, And here's the deal. So what they do typically is they charge you money out of your pocket up front. Let's call it $1,500, $2,000, whatever. And then from there, they charge you a monthly rate. Let's call it $200 a month. I don't know what it is, but let's say it's $2,000 up front and $200 a month. So you pay $2,000 plus 11 $200s. I mean, that's a lot of money, okay? And when you got hurt, you weren't prepared to be hurt. Or you had a CA2 and you didn't know what to do with it. And so you still weren't prepared. And so what happens is they say, okay, look, here's the deal. We're going to manage your case. We're going to facilitate a doctor writing a narrative, getting your claim accepted. We're going to help you fill out your forms, your CA1, 2, 7s, whatevers. And, we're going to help you get paid and get your time back and get your claim accepted. And as long as you keep paying us, we'll keep working for you.
Yeah.
So here's my position on that, is that as soon as they accomplish the goal, you don't have to pay them anymore. So as soon as your claim's accepted, as soon as you get paid, you don't have to pay them. So my question is, why would they want to win? Why do they want to win? Why do they want to win if winning means their money gets cut off? That's happening. We had somebody that reached out to somebody. I think they found you from us, and I apologize for that. I can't control like who is out there on the internet looking and searching and doing whatever they're doing. But don't accept anybody charging you $10,000 in a year to get your claim accepted, because the only motivation to get your claim accepted is for you to keep paying. Once a claim is accepted, you should stop paying. So why should they get your claim accepted? I think you all see it. What's different with us is that I'll get your claim accepted for free. You can be in Idaho where I don't have a doctor, and I'll still do what it takes to get your claim accepted. Free of charge. That's how it goes. So if anybody messages you and says, hey, I found you on Wednesday Night Chats, or I found you on Federal Injury Centers, or I found you at Breaking OWCP, or Chris Helms told me to call, I assure you I did not tell him to call. Don't pay to get a claim accepted.
No.
When you don't have to, when we'll do it for free, no matter what.
Again, this goes for everybody watching. If any of our offices ever charge you money and you feel skeptical, just either call the 877 number, message me, find me on Facebook.
Yeah.
I live with my phone. I mean, literally during the day. So I will see the message and I will make sure you get your money back.
And I'm president of the company. Anybody charges you, they might not be around tomorrow.
Here's what you can do. If something like that happens and there's not a Federal Injury Center's office or any type of federal injury clinic around you to help, just use your health insurance once. And then if it gets denied, if it gets denied, give us a call, and then we can help you. And then we'll show you how to get reimbursed. So I just saw somebody posted, they said $700 is cheap. The New York doctors charge $1,500. No.
What the heck? Our New York doctors charge $0.
I saw the guy needs there for a minute.
New York.
Yeah.
My mouth is dry.
And okay, so before we end, did you go over the CFR code if in fine and imprisonment?
Okay, so I don't have
to go over that because they need to hear it one more time.
All right, so there are two laws. There's one in the Code of Federal Regulations. There's one, the United States Code. And these are funneled into, USPS at about.usps.gov in the ELM. And one of the things that I like to tell you about is that your supervisors are not allowed to threaten you with retaliation or termination. The law specifically says that anybody in line for reporting an injury, like supervisors, that cause you not to report one, they, for whatever reason, that's not good. They can be fined, imprisoned, or both. They can be fined, imprisoned, or both. Whoever causes you to not want to report your injuries. So let me ask you, if they said, I'm going to retaliate, would you want to report? You're going to be fired. Would you want to report? I'm going to change your shift. Would you want to report? I'm going to cut your hours. Would you want to report? If they start cussing you because you're hurt, would you want to report? All of these things are a crime, not technically, but by the law. The United States Code says, and the Code of Federal Regulations says, that anybody who prevents you from reporting a work injury can be fined, imprisoned, or both. And OSHA says the same thing. OSHA says that your sixth employee right is the right to report a work injury. And they go further to say that anybody that prevents you from doing so has violated the law. So don't put up with it. Contact somebody. Your union is my favorite. Unions should fight for this stuff. But you can file labor charges, EEO charges. You can contact OSHA because OSHA said don't do this, and they did it anyways. OIG, Postal Inspector, DOJ. The point is, fight for yourself. Don't let them get over on you. Make it stop.
Hey, Thomas, this is my friend. He says, evening, how long does it work?
How long does a workers' comp claim stay
open?
It stays open forever. Even if it's closed, you have lifetime medical. So anytime you still need help, it can be reopened.
Yeah. There was one more code I wanted you to read because there's a lot of new people on here.
Well, I'll tell you what. So all the codes are my first book. If you look at page 131, that's the second book. Just know that.
Oh, we don't have the first one.
So if you look at the first book on PDF where it belongs, so you can save it to your phone, download it to your phone at breakingowcp.com. Download volume 1 PDF to your phone. Have it saved there. I've downloaded all 3 to my phone, so that can be a good example. But download them to your phone. There's a chapter on rules, laws, and regulations for volume 1. And everything that your supervisors are doing to you are dealt with in that chapter. Okay, all the laws, rules, and regulations they're violating are there. You can use them for your grievances. You can use them when you go OIG, Postal Inspector, DOJ. You can say, here's the law they're violating. I don't understand why everybody doesn't want this. And there are a lot of people that say, I want to have trophies. I want to hold the book. Look, I want to hold the book too. I have a whole bookshelf over there full of books. I read them all. But what I'm telling you is you can't put this in your pocket. And one day, God forbid, you're going to be at work and you're going to get hurt and your supervisor is going to hose you. Okay, they're going to lie to you or they're going to know nothing. They're going to act dumb or be dumb. And they're going to tell you something that's not right and you won't be able to do anything about it unless you have the book downloaded to your phone. And then you can go to the table of contents like I just did right here. And you can say, okay, in volume 2, let me go check it out. I'm going to go look at continuation of pay on page 70. Okay, if you've got a problem with COP, you know where to go. You can go to volume 3, to the table of contents, and you can say, you know what? My supervisor is giving me a really hard time in my CA-16. I'm going to go to page 30. All right, or you can go to page 131 of the first volume and look at every rule, law, and regulation that your supervisors are screwing you over with. The whole point is nobody else took the time to write the books, but I did. While you were working as essential workers on COVID, I was writing books because you're getting screwed. Yeah. You don't have to get screwed anymore. So download these books to your phone. Go to your phone, go to your computer, wherever, email it to yourself, and then download it to your phone. But have these books on PDF on your phone because if you wait till you need them, it's too late. I've done everything I can to give it to you. You're here. Thank you for being here. Tell your friends so they can be here next time. But get the books. Go to breakingowcp.com. Download all 3 to your phone. It doesn't take up that much space. It's worth it. Okay, protect yourself. I've given you the tools. Protect yourself.
Yeah. So we're going into the 3rd quarter, September. It's not getting dark enough or cold enough here in Florida, but we're hoping. We're going to do, we're going to talk about some safety tips and things for you guys that are still in the hot parts of the country. And then it's starting to get cold. Safety tips, just a few little things to go over. I know a lot of people keep asking us a lot about stress and anxiety on the job. So next week, we're just going to go over and cover those little safety things, how it gets dark, what to do if you're dehydrated.
And a Q&A.
Yeah, and Q&A with, like if you get dog bites and things like that. So this is for all of you out there, safety in the workplace at the VA, just things like that. So we're going to cover some safety issues. But I wanted to end with Tanya asking, were you once an injured worker? What made you start Injured Workers?
Tanya, I've never been an injured worker.
Neither have I.
I have been injured. I have a herniated disc in my back. I've got 2 blown ACLs. I've got 2 shoulders that are jacked. I can barely stand for 5 minutes, but I do it for 5 hours. But more than that, I've worked my entire life in doctor's offices. I have a master's in business. I know how to run business. I know how to run doctor's offices, and I know how to run OWCP. And so I've been able to put it all together, and I help you. The reason I do this is because I love you guys. I have so many friends like Ron and Renee Marie and
Jerry.
Like there's so many people I could just go.
Yeah.
Like all these people. Tanya, I've been watching you forever. Like I'm a bigger fan of you than probably you are of me. So we've been doing this for so long that I know this better than anybody. And so that's why we do this, because I'm able to make a difference.
Yeah.
If I knew how to do something else, I would do that. But I'm able to make a difference here based on my entire career working for doctors. That's why I do it.
You know, when genetics are being created in someone's mind, and you see it, like all the genes, like OWCP was in his head trying to figure out what am I going to do with this.
And you know what? When you guys were locked down on COVID, I wasn't. In fact, we were flying 54 times every 52 weeks.
Yeah, it's that already now.
And we're doing it again now, but we were locked down and you weren't. You were still working. We couldn't. I couldn't fly and teach anymore. I couldn't be in a room of 200 people. I couldn't go to local meetings, state meetings, national convention. I couldn't do any of that anymore. So I wrote my first book, and it took me 28 hours, which was 3 days, from conception to print. Took 3 days. And I did that because I said, hey, I know something about this that nobody else does. I can make an impact. So while you were still delivering my mail, helping veterans in the VA hospital, checking people through TSA, working on bases and doing all the stuff you do at the border, all that stuff, I was writing books. It's not as big as what you do, but it's big enough to help you get through what you do. And that's what I do.
Oh, listen, Ron said, everyone, I just want to appreciate the love and the kind words you all show me. The fact that you all trust me with your situations and problems you're facing, both of the employer, OWCP, DOL issues, is a fact I can help. It's so rewarding for me to see you all get some justice and to hear you share with me with that. So gratifying to hear y'all not give up, fight back, and get yours. So for that, I'm truly thankful. Much love. Keep fighting the good fight. That's so sweet.
So that's my buddy Ron Speakman. Ron and I have become good friends. He started watching us here. I spoke to him the first time when she was driving and I was in the passenger through Alabama going to Atlanta. And I had like an hour and a half talk with Ron, and he had been through everything. Like all the stuff I'm talking about, he's been through it all. But he made it through it all. And you can all make it through as well. And as I say that, I'm going to remind you, do not call Ron Speakman at 2 a.m. Give him a break. Take a break with Ron. Give us a call. Yeah. We're happy to help. Give Ron a break. He's been through it, and he's good at it.
Yeah.
But give us a call.
And Thomas said, and stop posting all those food posts. I'm on a diet, and you make me want to eat more. Food looks
It's Doll's Kitchen. So her parents named her Doll. Her dad particularly called her Doll.
As a nickname.
It's a nickname, and everyone calls her that. So it's like Doll's Empire, but part of the empire is the kitchen.
Yeah. If you're ever in town, come eat at Doll's Kitchen. So don't forget,
good.
You can go to www.
There's only 3 of the W's.
www.breakingowcp.com.
How many W's?
How many I did?
W.
Get this as a PDF, guys, because pretty soon the books will be gone.
So get it now.
Yeah, you might as well get yours now if you haven't. If you want the hard copies.
When they're gone, they're gone. They're only going to be PDF. I didn't make these books for me to make money. It's easier to make a lot of money when I sell the paperbacks. That's not what I made them. Paperbacks. These are paperback.
No, you said paperbacks.
Yeah, whatever. I got them so you can win. All right. So download them to your phone. Every one of them have a PDF option that's nearly free. Yeah. So make it happen.
And also, don't forget, next week we start our travel. We actually get 14 days home. Well, no, it's like 10.
We're in the middle of that now.
Yeah. We are going to be in Gilbert, Arizona for our open house meet and greet. Chris is going to do a 30-minute mini OWCP session and answer
3:30. I don't know.
Yeah. OWCP session. So come on. If you're in the Phoenix area, just come on, make yourself. It's only 30 minutes we checked. So you have no excuse. We're flying to Phoenix and we're driving to Gilbert. So
Tanya said Office of Workers' Compensation Problems. That's right.
So we look forward. So those of you that keep saying we want to meet you, we want to see you, why can't you guys come to Gilbert or wherever?
Pay attention, we're coming.
We're coming. We're finally coming. So get ready. Fill up the office. Bring a coworker. You never know. Chris may, have free dessert and do some of the juggling act or something.
I can juggle, but I don't do dessert.
So we hope to see a lot of you in Gilbert next Thursday at 6 p.m. Tell your union stewards, tell your union officials if they'd like us to come out and do some steward training. We will be able to do that as well. So that's all I have to say tonight until next week.
I can't believe it. All right. So, hey, we'll see everybody else next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully I won't be as nasally.
Yeah.
She'll be this goofy still, and we'll see what happens. But hey, everybody, thank you. Let everybody know to come back next time.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. Share. Good night.
Good night.